quite like this video format. This is basically just a table with a shirt over it. You can see it. Sort of move that way. See, you wouldn't know that's a shirt. I don't know. Maybe you would. Yeah. Welcome back to the channel. Just gonna do a little chat about my SIG 226X5. Just for YouTube purposes. Again, this is a toy. 5 BBs. It's not loaded. It's safe. There is a CO2 capsule in there just for shooting demonstrations, but you know, it's safe. It's not loaded. It's not going to hurt anyone. You can't put real bullets in it. It's a toy. Okay. So yeah, this is my SIG 226X5. This is, I believe it's a licensed SIG Air product, or before SIG Air was a thing, even maybe. It's licensed through Cybergun, probably. It's not Humorex, they don't do SIG. But yeah, it's made by KWC. KWC make a few cool CO2 gas blowback pistols. They do also do the Desert Eagle, like this one here. This is quite an old model, actually, or at least the slide is. the slide and barrel are. Because this is the licensed one that has the trademarks on it and stuff. Yeah, I might do a video on this. I might just keep it in this one, really. I don't use it enough to do its own video, so I'll just leave it there. I might talk about it, compare it and stuff a little bit, but we're mostly going to be looking at the 226X5. Now, I've used it a little bit in games here and there. I've got a lot of pistols that I kind of like to change between. I've kind of found so far, like, the M9 is my favourite one to use in games, just because it's not too big, but it's still a full-size pistol. I've got a lot of mags. I've sort of started collecting M9s. I've got like a HFC one that I've tripped to be full auto. I've got a KJW sort of tactical master. And then I've got the Tokyo Marui, the Chrome 92FS. So I've actually got a few mags for it as well. So it's having the mags, and a buddy who I play with, he uses an M9 as well. So, you know, we've just got that mag compatibility. We can share magazines, and it's a bit more practical when you're playing to be able to share magazines with your mates. So yeah, I've sort of landed on using my M9s mostly for actual playing. But I have used this for a few games, a fair bit, and it is really cool. It's nice and weighty. It feels good, being all made of metal. Unlike the Desert Eagle, where the lower for some reason is made of plastic, which I don't mind. You don't really notice it because the metal bits are heavy, the magazine's heavy. Like, it's still, you know, a chunky boy in the hand. But yeah, I'm not too sure why they did the frame in plastic. It's a bit of a weird move, but anyway, so this is all metal. It's nice and weighty, and yeah, it's comfortable. It feels good. Now, when I did play a game with it, you know, I did have an issue with it not being able to quite range someone, but that was, my primary went down, and I was going for someone who was at primary range away. It wasn't like a short range close quarters engagement where I went for my pistol. It was trying to use my pistol as my rifle, which isn't really going to work. I have, like, kind of noticed the factory hop-up unit in there is a bit pants. So, like, even if I was trying to push it out a bit further, even like in my garden, I do notice anything heavier than, or even including like a .25 BB, it does dip before it gets to the back of my garden fence. And I mean, I have no idea how big my garden is. It's not massive, but I would expect it to not do that quite as much. So if I was going to be using this more in Airsoft games, it would be probably a very good idea to upgrade the hop unit and maybe the inner barrel. Not too sure what it would be compatible with, but would be a good idea. I don't know, you know, it might just need a clean. I don't do that as often as I should, and I do find that sometimes, especially with my gas rifles and stuff, I'm like, oh no, what's going on? It's not working as it should, and then I give it a clean and it's just fine, because that's all they really need. But yeah, I really like this. I bought this pistol because it resembles, minus the sort of bit here that you can attach. You can attach a scope, which you can, you can put attachments here. It's got rails. You can attach like a torch, flashlight, or a little grenade launcher thing or something like that. But it kind of resembles the controller for Time Crisis, and I wanted that. And that just went off with the safety on. Weird. Never done that before. Or maybe it wasn't fully on. I'm going to assume it's because it wasn't fully on. Okay, weird. Anyway, it's nice and snappy being a CO2 gun. But yeah, it resembles a Time Crisis gun, the controller. I'll see if I can find a picture of one I'll pull up. But yeah, and I really like that. Time Crisis was like one of my favourite things to do when I was a kid. I went to arcades all the time with my family, especially in the summer, down at the beach in Margate and stuff. Dreamland, and I'd just be stuck on Time Crisis. Time Crisis was one of the first games I bought on PS2. Me and my stepbrother played it religiously, and I've also got the PlayStation gun controllers that do the recoily thing, and like, yeah, fucking love that. So yeah, I like to have a little bit of sentimental value with my gun collection, and I guess that's kind of the story behind that one. But yeah, so it resembled the Time Crisis controller, and it's like kind of the closest thing I could find to that. I know the gun that they use in Time Crisis is supposed to be a Mark 23, and I've got one of those as well. So, for that reason, really. That and the Soldier of Fortune Double Helix, that was a really good, like, I was into that game a lot, and there was a Mark 23 in there. But anyway, this is, yeah. But anyway, this is why I got this pistol in the first place. I wanted like a SIG pistol. I like the 226. I do like that this is a bit longer. I prefer how that looks, really. It's kind of like, well, at the moment I feel like it's the high capper I have at home, because I'm a bit skint and I'm just like drooling over high cappers at the moment, and I don't own one. So this is kind of my high cappery pistol, in that it is also, people modify these to be race guns and competition guns and stuff, and it's about the same size as a 5.1 high capper. And yeah, I really like the extended beaver tail. I like that it doesn't have the decocker thing, because I don't think you need it on a single action gun, even though the X5, the real X5 is, I believe, a single action only gun. But this one has double, and that's just because mechanically it would be the same, cheaper and easier to just make it the same as a regular 226 for Airsoft. But yeah, no, I really like this. I love how it looks. Aesthetically, it is very, very nice. I like the sort of the dark grey with the stainless brushed vibe that it's got going on. It's pretty. It's a pretty gun. It is definitely a pretty gun, for sure. The wood is plastic and kind of sucks, and it's kind of obviously plastic. I don't know how that's coming off on video, but in the flesh, it's obviously plastic. Kind of sucks. I wish they'd put real wood on it. Or I wish there was, like, real wood stuff you can find. I don't know if real ones would fit. Something I need to look into, maybe. Maybe someone could tell me. I don't know. But it would be nice if they were real wood grips. I get why they're not. It would make the gun unreasonably more expensive, probably, if they were real wood grips. But nevertheless, it looks nice. It looks the part. It's quite well done, I guess. Plastic wood, but it could be worse. Could be better. I think the only way it could be better, though, is if it was real wood. So whatever. I really like using this for shooting targets in the garden, and just getting sort of my skills honed in, and getting better at shooting. It feels really nice to shoot, especially on a fresh CO2 bulb. It's super punchy, and in the hot weather that we got at the moment, not really CO2 gun weather, but I've just been running it in the garden. It's so crisp, it's so punchy, it's absolutely slaps. It does, it does very sort of clearly move your wrist and your hand when you do it. Like, that's not me like exacerbating anything, that is it kicking like that. But it comes right back down on target afterwards, so making quick follow-up shots does feel good. The trigger is a pile of wank. Like, with double action long pull, it's quite a lot. Once it's in single, there's no wall at all. It literally, you just pull the trigger and keep squeezing, and let's see if we can hone in when it actually drops. It's about there, and there's still it's just basically all the way back. Yeah, so it doesn't go back any further after it pulls. The reset is very audible, which is nice. So making those follow-up shots is nice and sort of quick. But yeah, like the actual the trigger, the initial trigger could be better. But once you've got it, you've got it. It's super nice and super snappy. I've had this CO2 bulb in for at least 3 mags, and me pissing about with it right now. So it is on its way out. But yeah, but that moves me on to like the efficiency of it. You know, it's been quite nice weather. Sort of, this is end of July, early August time of filming. So you know, when I have been recently shooting out in the garden, it's been nice hot weather. It's been super crisp and punchy. And I've been getting between 3 and 4 mags worth of BBs out of 1 CO2 canister. I've only got 1 mag for this. That's another reason why I don't really play with it in games much. But, you know, mags are quite hard to find, especially CO2 mags, especially for guns that aren't really like used much like this. I don't see any of these. This is the only one of these I've seen, you know, out and about playing airsoft. Like, it's, you know, been in my holsters. I've not noticed anyone else using them really. I bought this new. You can get mags for this. There is a black version as well, and that's the one that you can get the mags for. I can't find any of the silver mags. It doesn't really bother me. There's enough black on here for a sort of a bit more black accent would look fine, I think. But they are available, but it would be nice to get some silvery grey ones as well. But what the hell, I can probably find them overseas maybe. But yeah, but for shooting targets in the garden, it is perfect. Like the feel of it, and it's the action of it, and the way it, you know, the way it cycles it feels great, and it shoots super straight at short distance. Push it out to, you know, 30 feet ish, and you will see the BB start dropping. But it shoots super straight at sort of, you know, 10 to 15 feet, and just practicing shooting quickly and accurately at that kind of distance is good fun. It's a good laugh, and this does that very, very, very well. I think it was like 180 quid, which is kind of on the more expensive side of pistols, I guess, for something that I would still want to upgrade internally to use reliably in games. But is it? I don't know. Maybe it was a bit less than that. Maybe it was like 140, 150. I can't really remember. But I mean, the external build quality though is kind of second to none, to be honest. It's, I mean, robust. It feels great. It's perhaps like a little too much play between the slide and frame, but it doesn't really affect its performance noticeably, I don't think. And yeah, it's built really, really well, really nicely. It feels really nice. One thing I would have liked for this part of the rear sight, if that wasn't built into the slide, because the silver part, the grey part here, is built into the slide. This part isn't. You can take this out and adjust it and if you want. But it would be nice if I could put real sights on it, or an RMR plate so I could run an optic on it. But to be honest, like the fact that I can't is enough self-justification for me to buy a high capper that I want. So yeah, no, I really like my SIG. I can't really think of any other SIG pistols that I'd like to own either, really. So, you know, it's nice that I've got this one. I'm not really that interested in the SIG pistols. The Rattler, the gas blowback Rattler, that's something I want. And then I kind of sometimes like having like I've got my Colt rifle and my Colt pistol, and like I like to do that. I've got my HK MB5 and my HK Mark 23. I like to do like a gun brand loadout essentially. So having a SIG pistol for my SIG Rattler when I eventually get one is nice, and this is the one that I'd choose. I'm not really into the M18, you know, the 320 series. They're nice, they just don't quite hit it for me. The 226 does, and this iteration of a 226 is for sure the one I'd go with out of them all. And yeah, let me know what you think about it. 226, X5, 320, or would you even go for a SIG pistol in the first place? Does anyone know if I can put real wood grips on this? That would be real useful to know. But yeah, if you like this, give it a like, subscribe, do all of that YouTubey goodness. And yeah, I don't know when I'll edit this and put it up and stuff, but I'll try and bang some more videos out as well, as soon as I can. I don't get a lot of time to do this, and it, you know, I just kind of have to make a bit of time for it, or do it when I find myself with a bit of free time. So yeah, it is nice to see my videos getting views and stuff, so it kind of makes me want to put that extra bit of time in when I'm otherwise sat around doing nothing. But yeah, thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.